In Civ VI or Civilization VI, Diplo Fever is treated like a used condom, good for 2 minutes and then thrown away never to be heard from again until the next Civ VI Congress session 30 turns later. In this Civ VI video, I'm not clickbaiting, but showing you how you can use Diplo Favor to win every Civilization VI game. Stick around to the end for a guaranteed way to get almost infinite Diplo Favor. This wasn't supposed to be today's video, so it's not going to be an in-depth one, more like the depth of a finger wiping your butthole than full-on fisting. I wanted to publish this one, but life cockblocked me, so like and subscribe to not miss tomorrow's release of the video. Now, Diplo Favor is about as versatile as toilet paper. It has one job, and that's it. Even though it gets it done, it is still the hardest yield to get. Even if you focus on Diplo Favor, by the late game, you'll be making less than 20 per turn in a good situation. You'll find more milk in a male cow than Diplo Favor in any game, but there's a reason for that. Diplo Favor is the most powerful tool you can use, as it is directly linked to one victory type, the Diplomatic Victory. With enough Diplo Favor, you can make sessions go your way, give them that little nudge to give you the Diplo points, and get things like more production in districts, more amenities, and ban others from building specific power plants, for example. But there are also some tricks like buying early Diplo Favor or later at stacks of 20 after the first Congress session, however, which can either let you sell it later for a profit or keep it as a stockpile when you get to some World Congress sessions you don't know about. Predicting what the AI will vote for, which isn't really hard most of the time, and by the time you get to the late game, you can easily win a Diplo Favor in less than 10 turns once you reach a certain threshold. The thing about a Diplo victory is it is the one victory type where you don't need anything to go right for you. You can have as much luck as the Irish under British rule and still be able to win one Diplo victory easy, and that all comes down to getting Diplo Favor. Now, the title of this video is Why Diplo Favor Lets You Win Every Game, and even though I'm a clickbait connoisseur like every other YouTuber, this isn't a lie. The difference with a diplomatic victory and other victory types is you don't need to focus on it at all. For a science victory, you have to focus on science and getting that rocket ship out to get Khrushchev to lick your balls. You need to focus on accumulating great works like Pokemon cards to get a culture victory. You have to research advanced units and cosplay Putin if he was competent to win a domination victory. And you need to forego early game for holy sites to win a religious victory. But Diplo, you can realize you're almost at the end of the game without having paid attention to it a single time, and still win by picking a couple smart options, building the Statue of Liberty, while getting a couple of emergencies done. That's what makes it so versatile. It's a backup that takes no effort at all, like having some girls on speed dials or boys in case your significant other breaks up with you, which the average TheCivLifeR subscriber is already experienced in. But in all seriousness, what makes Diplo Favor the best tool to win with is the fact that you can easily make and get more Diplo Favor at any stage of the game, as it is a rare resource. But despite the fact it's rare, even in the late game, as long as you get some alliances, suzerains, you'll still be able to trade for 20 Diplo Favor from every Civ every single turn, and that's how you get to eventually win every world leader vote. So even if you have like 10 Diplo points on turn 200, you can easily get those last 10 in the next 30 to 40 turns in some situations. Because even if you have 10 Diplo Favor, let's say, you can still, for example, win the world leader vote and the other two things by trading 20 Diplo Favor from every Civ every turn in like the last 10 turns before a Congress. That's maybe 4 points. Statue of Liberty is another 4 points, and winning some sort of emergency is another 2 points, which adds up to 10. So even if you haven't focused on it, you will still be able to easily make up the gap and win the game that way, and let's talk about some specific strategies. Now, the strategy is easy. Unless you're doing a one-city mountain lock challenge, as you can see right here, that I did, then it's pretty easy to get a coastal city with a harbor and build the Statue of Liberty there for 4 Diplo victory points. Now, other wonders give 1 or 2 points, but the statue giving 4 is massive, not because it's double what the other wonders give, but it becomes at the later stages of the game, and not only that, but the AI never builds this wonder. And, you know, looking at the modern state of the USA, you can't really blame them, but you can still make use of it, as once you get 16 diplomatic victory points, you build the Statue of Liberty and you win the game. Also, at this stage, after getting around 15 Diplo points, every AI will always vote for you to lose 2 Diplo points in the World Congress, so this right here helps prevent the late game slog of being only to get at most net plus 1 point per session. And with it, you'd probably win a game so easy that you could train a monkey to do it. But how do you get the first 15 points? Well, the inner mechanisms of how the AI works is still an enigma to this day, as even Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking tag teaming couldn't find out what makes them so stupid. But it's simple. Half the resolutions will almost always go the same way. For example, when it comes to unit production, the options are negative 50% production cost, gold cost, or faith cost, or an extra 50% cost with production, gold, or faith. The AI will almost always go for the negative 50% production cost unless they have a lot of money. For district building production, it'll always be double production to the city center one. For luxuries, it almost always is the one the player has the most of, which, I mean, I don't know how that works, but I might be wrong, but it's could because the AI cheats to make up for its missing gray brain matter. And even other ones like religious combat strength or extra wildcard slots for governments are easy to find out, as the religion with the most civs it has a majority in, or the government type that most people follow, is usually going to be the winner unless you have one AI who has way more Diplo favor than everyone else. At the end of the day, it comes down to experience or just jotting down some notes that you can follow later, but that along with emergencies that the AI very rarely ever helps in, even if they vote yes, will give you all the Diplo points you need to win the game, even on deity as a new player, as long as you know how to survive the early game. Before we get started with the final part, if you enjoy, subscribe to not miss out on tomorrow's snow-only start, and let me know down below what your favorite flavor of ice cream is while leaving a like for the daily ritual of sacrifices to the almighty algorithm. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about, the piece de resistance, the creme de la creme, the panzer to my French invasion, is the Diplo favor cheese. We've already established the AI is synonymous with smoking in a gas station. It's just downright stupid. So despite the fact that after the World Congress starts, before then you could get as much Diplo favor as you want, you'll still be able to trade for 20 Diplo favor from every AI every turn as long as you have tradable goods. If you have even 3 AI who are willing to trade you 20 Diplo favor every turn, you can get potentially 600 Diplo favor in just 10 turns, which is more than enough, not even counting all your other potential sources like alliances, to win every single resolution. Now, again, it's going to cost a lot for you to actually get those 600 points, but even getting 200 to 300 points is still huge, as I find every session, the max the AI will have is 500 if it's running away with the game. And with some alliances, suzerains, and governments, you will still be able to make your own Diplo favor, which should help augment your stolen, cheesy Diplo favor. This cheese strategy can be used at any time of the game, even 5 turns before the next session for great effect, because again, with just 6 Diplo favor, with 16 diplomatic victory points, you build the Statue of Liberty and you win. And even if you get up to 14 Diplo favor, you can still win by getting a lucky emergency or something and getting the statue at the same time. You'll be able to get the 20 in that same time frame. At the end of the day, diplomatic victory is one of the most straightforward victory types, and by putting at least some effort into it, farming it, you can easily pivot and win if other victory types take too long or become unattainable. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.